Okay, so here's a video of my pointe shoe collection, which most of you have requested. I have quite a collection, and that's mainly because obviously I am a pointe shoe fitter, so I've tried and tested many different brands and styles to find a shoe for me, and also it helps me to learn about various shoes and how they fit different feet and like the different shanks and all that kind of information. Before I start, there's many different brands I've got here, everything from Grishko to Bloch to Ballet Pointe. I've even got a pair of Gaynor Mindens. I'll go through each pair of shoes briefly because there's so many. I don't want to take forever. So I'll go through each pair briefly, give you a bit of a lowdown about the shoe and what I thought of it. Bear in mind everyone's feet are different, so my opinion is just going to be my opinion. It doesn't mean that you should then hate the shoe yourself. You know, there's many different shoes out there, and to find a shoe for you, you're going to have to go through a lot of different kinds to find the shoe that's most suited to you. So first of all, let's show you my collection briefly, and then I'll give you the lowdown. Right, as you can see, I've got quite a pile of shoes. Some haven't even been worn that much, sadly. There are some pairs that aren't here because they've either been thrown in the rubbish or been sold on because they was not properly worn and could go to another dancer. As you can see, I've got some coloured ones there too, which I've dyed. I just want to show you guys my cute cat Miyuki, who's made a nest on my ballet wear. Miyuki! Ah. Sorry the camera's up higher, but I'm just getting more light because it's night time, so I've put the tripod up. I won't do this in order of the shoes that I've had, by what month or whatever, because I really can't remember. So I'll just do this randomly. So here we go. These ones here are Grishko 1, and they are a custom order shoe. I have worn these, and they was a good pair. I believe, both of these are 4.5. I usually get 1 4 and 1 4.5 because my feet are weird like that. They're super soft shank, and they're a double X in width, so 2X. Just show you there. Show you the backs. What I tend to do is keep all my old shoes, and sometimes some of them have got a bit of wear left, so I go back to them, or sometimes they truly are dead. I'll do a video explaining how to know when your shoes are dead if you don't know already how to tell. Another good thing to do is sometimes your feet will change, so one pair of shoes might not work for you at one stage, but then you'll go back to them later on, say a few months down the line, maybe even a year down the line, and discover that that shoe actually works for you now. I've had similar where I've gone through my shoes this week and found 2 pairs that actually have a lot of wear left and actually suit my feet now, whereas when I got them they was no good for me at all. But it's worth mentioning that, you know, if I do pointe shoe fitting, I still go for fittings myself, but you know, you should always check with your fitter and your teacher as well, because feet do change, and so does your technique and your strength. So yeah, this was a good pair, and Grishko 1 is one of my favourite styles, and I love to get a custom order. Here I've had the shank, the vamp made a little shorter. I often do on Grishko because I have quite short toes, you see. So let's go on to the next pair. I have a pair of Grishko Novas. These are quite a new shoe and they're really gorgeous. If you like the 2007 model, then you'll really like these because they have a similar style, but they just have more of a, what feels to me, a rounder platform and a bit of a wider platform. Plus they have higher wings and they really grasp the foot very nicely. I had these custom ordered. Unfortunately, they don't feel quite right, and they didn't put the shank in that I requested, so I'm waiting to hear back for them. I had a super soft shank, but I actually wanted ProFlex in a ProFlex medium. Here I have 1 4.5 shoe and 1 4 shoe, and they are X width. I have very narrow feet. Even the X width can be too wide sometimes, which is crazy. And like I said, super soft shank. Let me just show you close. So there they are there. And I had the vamp made a little bit shorter. I think it was 0.5 centimetres. There's the back. Platforms all nice and darned. As I mentioned, darning platforms is a great idea, and I have a video on my channel on how to do it. So if you want to take a peek at that, please do so. Let's go on to the next pair. I actually can't believe how many shoes I've got, to be honest. Right. This pair here are again Grishko Maya 1. However, this is an off-the-rack pair, which is quite rare for me to actually like and suit my feet. I needed these in a rush, so that's why I went for off-the-rack. Grishko Maya 1 comes with no drawstring as standard, as you can see. Now personally, I usually don't get on with no drawstring because I have very narrow feet, but I actually got on with this pair of shoes really well. It's also worth mentioning that when I got these at first, I couldn't really get on my platform. I didn't really like them. I did a lot of work to break them in, and now I absolutely love them. So remember, if you get a pair of shoes and you think to yourself, although they actually fit you, you think, oh, I really don't like them, give them time, really work them in. You know, maybe just do some simple bar exercises in them, and you know, in a couple of weeks you might actually grow to really love them. So never, you know, have a shoe and just after 1 or 2 wears discard it, because you might actually really love the shoe. So these are the ones that I'm currently wearing. They're actually on the verge of dying now, but I will shellac them and glue them to keep them going a bit longer. Show you the platforms. Darned. As you can see, you can learn a lot about your platforms and if you're getting on your platform good enough by looking at the platform, sorry. Can you see how, my left? I can tell my left straight away because I haven't got enough dirt on it. Can you see that? I haven't gone over enough on my platform. I have a weaker left foot. Everyone's got a weaker side, and it's worth looking at your platforms of your shoes to see how well you're getting on the platform. If you notice that the dirt is just there, then you're really not getting up enough. So you may want to decide to get a softer shank, or you may need a shorter vamp, or a combination of the two. Or it may be technique or strength. Like if you've had an injury, for example, that can prevent you from having the flexibility in your ankles like you once had. So yeah, these are nice shoes. Let's go on to another pair. We have Grishko 2007. Now this pair is a custom order. It's got an elastic drawstring this time, which I don't usually go for, not very keen on. I just wanted to see how it was in a Grishko, because Grishkos don't come with elastic drawstrings, they come with cotton drawstrings. I didn't like them, so I've never gone for elastic drawstrings again. But you know, it's worth trial and error. I had the vamps made short on these, but I actually cut them and re-sewed them because they was not short enough. Well, I felt they weren't short enough. These are a super soft shank, and they're both a size 4.5 and 1X width. I wore this pair maybe 5 times, if that, as you can see there. Let's give you a nice view of those. So these I'll never wear again. They're completely gone. They're never going to be suitable for me, unfortunately. So they just wasn't working out. But generally speaking, I can wear 2007 if it's got a good combination of vamp and shank kind of variation. Let's go on to this pair. This is again 2007, and it's the Pro version. The Pro version has sound absorbing technologies in the platform around here. I've actually peeled them off, but it's like, it feels like a spongy kind of texture, I guess. I do believe they actually changed the material they use, because on this pair it was really thick and I hated it, so I had to cut it off, but they have changed it now and it's a lot better. The Pro version is good for on stage because it makes no noise, so it's nice and soft in the box and platform. Almost silent, I would say. The Pro also has a bit more of a flexible box. I think that's like how it comes, but that's how it feels anyway. These were a medium shank, and I went for a 4.5 1X. Let's show you guys. And I also went for, oh no, I got this pair standard, but what I did was I cut the vamp down and resewed it so it was a bit shorter for me. Just show you there. There you go. I think I wore these a few times. Again, they have got some wear left. I mean, they're quite bendy now, but I think I did cut the shank down a little bit more. So they may be worn again. Let's go on to next. Here we have Grishko 2007. They are really worn. Like, this pair is one of my original pairs actually, and they're so worn that I can barely tell you what size and width. Can you see that? Because they've been worn outdoors on shoots. As you can see, they're battered. These were 4X medium. That's very rare for me to wear those. I think this must be a pair that was a trial and error, because I'm definitely not a 4X width. But on shoots, you know, wear whatever you want in them, it's okay really. So as you can see, shank's quite bendy, and they're definitely dead. Let's go on to another pair. Here we have a really pretty pair of Grishko Maya ones. They're custom order, and I had them ordered in bubblegum pink, but it's kind of come out quite violet, as you can see. Looking back at this pair, I would say the vamp is definitely too short. I went a bit crazy. I think I went for like over 1 centimetre shorter, which is just far too short. I've worn these on photo shoots and a little bit to class, but not so much, because I definitely did it too short. I could always put some vamp elastic here to make them work again, but we'll see. They're a 4.5, both of them are 4.5 actually, 1X and a super soft shank. Just show you a nice close-up of the colour. If you didn't know, Grishko shoes can be ordered in a variety of colours if you can't be bothered to dye them yourself, and you can get matching ribbons too. And if you check out my shop, online shop on my site, straight-to-the-point.net, I can even order them in for you. So let's go to another pair. We have a pair of Grishko Mayas. These haven't even, like, a lot of my shoes haven't even got the stickers left in them, so I just like look at them and know. I think that's part of being a point shoe geek. Grishko Maya, they're 4.5. Both of them are again, and they're a single X, and they're a soft shank. This pair was one of my favourites actually. I wore these a lot. These were one of the first pairs of Grishko Maya that I had. I don't actually think I went shorter on the vamp this time, so original vamp length, but I got the drawstring this time. As you can see, let's just show you the shank. Can you see how bendy that is? That is dead, truly dead. There's no way that, I really don't think these are going to have anywhere left, to be honest. Let's go on to another pair. We have got, another pair of Grishko Mayas, Maya 1, sorry. Again, this pair have been worn a lot, and they've also been shellacked. It's worth showing you guys what shellac shoe looks like. You can see that on my video on how to shellac point shoes. Let's just show you there. These are a custom order, quite battered, but I do believe these were a really nice pair for me. Let's go on to another pair. Now these ones have been dyed by me, and I also put glitter on them as part of one of my dyeing point shoe projects. You may have seen these without the glitter on in my how to dye point shoes video, which is on my YouTube. As you can see, they're really sparkly, really cool. I didn't go all the way with the glitter because I kind of wanted them half and half. These are Grishko Maya 1 again, but this time they're ProFlex. If you didn't know, I think all Grishko shoes can actually come with ProFlex shanks. I didn't know Maya 1 could until a few months ago. So these are a ProFlex medium. Now, ProFlex shanks are very soft. They're like, they are pretty much kind of like feel like a broken in shank, so you don't have to do anything to them, as you can see. They're usually only suitable for those that want a quick shoe to get on stage with, or need a softer shoe in general. Now, warning, they don't last long. Proflex shanks do die fairly quick, but that's the idea. They're meant to be a pre-broken in kind of fill. They will last you a long time if you've just started point and you've got like a weaker foot, or say you've had an injury and you need to go back to a really soft shank. So yeah, you know, I mean, these shoes actually lasted me quite well, but they have really died a death now because the shank is just so bendy it could actually snap in two. But I really love how pretty they are. Let's just give you a close-up. And I used a black Sharpie pen for these. Sharpie pens rock for doing shoes with because they're waterproof too. And then I used some gold glitter fabric paint. Next up we have, oh, these are Gambas, Gamba 97s. They're a size 5, which is crazy because I'm definitely not a 5. These must have been purchased when I was just starting out really. They're a 1X width, I'm not sure what shank, I think standard. Gamba used to be based in Covent Garden in London. I never got to visit the shop. They then got bought out by Repetto, which are a French company, and the factory moved over to France. They're still making kind of Gamba-like shoes, but they just got the Repetto label. The 97 was a very popular shoe, and you can actually still get a lot of Gambas on eBay and from some selective shops. Like I know there's a shop in Yorkshire that still does them. I think it's called Fancy Dress Shop. And I know they still do the Gamba demi points, which I actually really like. These shoes are actually really nice, but they was the wrong size for me. And I did try these on the other day and they are totally just not right. They're a 3/4 shank, as you can tell there. They had a really nice roll through. The vamp is, well, I'd say medium to long in length. I've also got these stick-on darning things on them. I don't know why, because I don't like them. I prefer to darn the outside of my shoe myself. Just show you the back. They are really nice, like softer shoe as well. Like the box isn't rock hard, if you know what I mean. So yeah, if you can ever get your hands on some Gambas, I recommend giving them a go if you want to try something else. Let's go on to another pair. Here we've got some Russian points. Now I only got to try Russian points this year when I met Alexandra, the CEO of Russian Point at Move It, and she fitted me in person. I've got the video actually on my YouTube channel. I was really excited to try them because they just came to the UK this year. I did do a video of what I thought of these shoes, so you may want to go and view that. Let me just go through them quickly. They are made of a really nice satin, and they kind of pleat here and go round sort of thing. And the shanks, the actual soles are very soft. And the shanks themselves come in a variety of either pre-arched or not pre-arched. This pair I've actually cut down a bit more to make them more bendy. They have, they all come with no drawstrings, but you can order them with. These are Sapphire model, and I went for, do you know what, I'm not actually sure if I can remember. I think they're a size 37, and they're a width 2 and a vamp 1, that's the way. Because you can order different vamp lengths, different widths, and different shanks, kind of like Grishko in a way, apart from if you wanted to order a different vamp, it would be a custom order with Grishko. They are nice shoes, but personally I just didn't get on with them. I found, although the platforms look round, I found that they felt rectangular to me, like very sharp on the edge. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because I'm just so used to my own shoes now that I just couldn't get used to this shoe. It's such a shame because they are really nice, and there's loads of people that love these shoes. And Alexandra is a really lovely woman, and she gives great information. So if you can get your hands on trying some Russians, then give it a whirl. The box, however, is on Russian points, I find, feels softer than the box of a Grishko. So if you have a tendency to destroy boxes, then maybe shellac them before you wear. That's just my own opinion. Right. Next up, we have Grishko Maya. These are a custom order. One shoe is a 4X and the other is a 4.5X. With some shoes, like with Maya, I can wear a 4.5 1X, but I have a bit of a smaller foot on my right, so I tend to order a 4 on one foot. I'll just show you them here. This pair, I can't remember exactly how short I went in the vamp. I got these and I didn't like them, they just felt a bit different, which is strange because, as you know, like every style shoe is that style, but it depends on the maker. With Grishko I tend to ask for number 18. These are 47. You can find the maker of your Grishko shoe by peeling back the drawstring casing on one of your shoes, and you'll see some numbers along here, and the number on the end is like the maker, the guy who like makes those particular shoes. It sounds crazy, but there will be times where you'll feel that one pair of shoes feels slightly different to another, even though they're the same brand and style. So if you find a pair that you truly love, it's worth jotting down the maker's number and asking for that maker if you want custom shoes and you're very particular. This pair I got, I felt were very strange, I didn't feel right. So I put them in my point shoe graveyard and I went and tried them on like last week, and I actually really like them now. So again, it's worth keeping hold of shoes because you never know, you might actually end up liking them. So I'll be resewing them soon, which is always handy when I'm waiting for shoes to arrive. So next up we have this gorgeous pair of purple Grishko 2007s, which I dyed myself. You can see in the video of dyeing point shoes that I made. These are a 4.5 double X medium shank, and I've cut down the vamps. I've cut them down way too low, like seriously. I need to put some vamp elastic on them. I did wear these a hell of a lot, but they are, I did cut the shank down a little bit more as well, but I feel they are pretty much too dead now to wear. But they're really pretty, and I love to keep hold of these to show like the dye job I did. I used Dylon fabric dye, not the bucket method, because you will kill your shoes like that. If you go to my video, you'll see I paint them on with like a little spongy thing. And these are really good coverage, as you can see. I tried to do my elastic ribbons, but obviously you can't do the elastic bit, but you can't really see that anyway. So yeah, there they are. Nice. Next, another pair of purpley ones. This was my first attempt at dyeing point shoes, and it wasn't the best, if I'm honest. So if you're going to dye point shoes, always try it on an old pair in case you destroy them, because with this pair I definitely destroyed them to the point where I made them too small. I put too much water on them when I was trying to dye them and they shrunk. So that's why I do not recommend the bucket method. They have got a really weird texture, like almost like suede, which is really bizarre. They're a Grishko Maya. They was one 4.5 double X and one 4 double X and a soft shank. These shoes originally were a good pair for me, but obviously now I can't wear them anymore because they've shrunk. So there we go. They're a nice purpley colour, but the dye job is just not all that. It was like a Dylon kind of bucket kind of dye, you know, the ones you mix with salts. Some people use them with success, but I really don't recommend. Next up we have, Gaynor Mindens. Now, I personally don't like Gaynors. I have my own reasons for that. That's not to say that anyone else shouldn't try them. I personally feel you should only be in Gaynor Mindens if you're a more advanced dancer with strong technique, or you've got an injury and you need to wear a shoe that's, you know, going to help you with your injury. I've had about 4 different pairs of Gaynor Mindens now. I was fitted for every single pair at Dancia. I had a nightmare getting the right pair, so that's why I've had various pairs of them. But, you know, I've given them a fair try, so you can't say I haven't tried, because I really have. But they're just not for me. What works for you won't work for me, whatever. So, Gaynors are made in New York, I think, something like that. Anyways, these, I can't remember exactly which. I do know that they were super sleek, and they were a narrow, and I think equivalent to a UK 4.5. As you can see, these are Gaynors, and they have the drawstrings do up on the insides of the shoes. And these were I don't know what shank they were. I think they might have been supple. Just show you them. I personally just didn't get on with them. They didn't suit my feet. The vamps were too long. I didn't like the feel of the shanks. I didn't like the feel. They just didn't feel right to me. I'm just not a Gaynor Minden girl. But, you know, at least I can say I've tried my best with them, you know. They come with like suede caps, but I think you can order them without. They do look very modern as well, don't they? They look very sleek, but they're very modern. Now, personally, I just prefer a shoe that is traditional looking. So at least I've given them a go. You know, various pairs, had various fittings, but they're just not for me. Next up, we have Grishko. What are these? Oh, these are my very first pair of Grishko custom order shoes. These are 2007 Pros. Back then I wasn't really sure about my sizing, and because I decided to go for 2 different sized shoes, it was my first attempt. I went for a 4.5 3X super soft and a 5 XX super soft, which is crazy because I'm absolutely not a 5. I actually, believe it or not, despite the differences in these shoes and the fact that now they would not fit me, I actually really liked them at the time. I wore these a hell of a lot, and a lot on photo shoots too, and they are dead to the bone now. I went for a V-shaped vamp, a shorter vamp, and yeah, super soft shank. So let's just show you them there. You can see really dirty on the bottoms from photo shoots. Next up we have Grishko Maya 1. I actually think, looking at these might have been my very first pair of Grishko Maya ones. They're soft shank, 4.5, 2X width. And I actually really love this pair, and they've been worn well. They feel like they might have a little bit of shank left, but the box is quite squidgy now. They've been shellacked to death as well. Let's just show you these. I know I have a lot of Grishko Maya ones, but that's because it's like my shoe. And like I said, there are many other shoes that I've had that I no longer have because they've either sold on, or they've gone in the bin, or I just can't find them. So, you know, the shoes I show you now, I have had many more. Next up we have a pair of Grishko Dream Points, which are actually the new shoes by Grishko, and they're based on the 2007 model. They fit exactly the same. They are very luxurious. They have lovely soft like padding in them. They're like the Miracle, but slightly different really. They have like a little toe cushion in the bottom, which usually annoys me, but in these it works. They come with plastic shanks, which Miracles don't. These are a medium flexible, which is, I would say, a cross between a soft and a medium shank. I've actually peeled back the shank so you can see what they're like. Sadly, this pair was off the rack and it didn't work for me because the vamps are too long. So I cut and re-sewed the vamps, and to be honest, I've really battered them. And they just wasn't working for me, so sadly that was a waste of money for me. But I would like to get these again, and I do recommend them if you want a really luxurious, like, soft shoe. I am yet to hear how people are getting on with the plastic shanks in them. I've sold quite a few pairs already. It'd be interesting to hear people's reviews. I would say, I'm not sure, I've not had any stock of the shank up from this, which is it Flexible Hard or something like that? They may not be suitable for a stronger foot, but we'll see. But yeah, they're very luxurious, so I just want to show you there. Take no notice of my disgusting vamps and the messy job I've done with them. As you can see, they look like a 2007. Next up we have a pair of Grishko Fouettes. Wow, these are a 4.5 XXM. These are the really old style Fouette because they have like the scored, like harder sole, which you don't really see on a Grishko now. It's kind of similar to the Triumph shank, but it's even harder. So these are quite an old pair, I'd say. These again came without the drawstring, like Grishko's always used to, and still doing certain models. I've cut down the vamps, restitched them. I haven't worn these much. I think they was way too big for me actually. They're quite a nice shoe. The Fouette is known as being one of the point shoes by Grishko that like really outlast all other shoes. There's been actually a scientific like study done on the Fouette. I think you can view it if you Google it. There's an actual like link to the study about them. These were like one of the original Grishko models. These are a really hard wearing shoe for sure. I mean, this medium shank, can you see like that's still really stiff, and I've worn these. The Maya one I think is based on the Forte actually. Anyways, show you them. Wow, a lot of shoes. Next up we have